Okay, and welcome to another edition of the Touch Cell Show. This time it's a special edition. We are not on radio this time, we're online. Because, of course, you know the issue at hand. We all are on lockdown and we have to stay at home to keep ourselves safe. And that is what we're going to be discussing today about the COVID-19 or coronavirus, as people also call it. And we'll be discussing about the issues dealing with this virus and how it affects people with sickle cell disorder. We'll be back in a moment. Okay, we're back, and today we have a very special guest on the show, she's the CEO of Sickle Cell Foundation, and I'll bring her on and I'll introduce her properly. Hello.
Hello.
Dr. Akinsete, can you hear me?
Hello.
So we have with us Dr. Akinsete. She is the CEO of Sickle Cell Foundation. She's also a public health practitioner, and she's also involved in the issues dealing with this COVID-19 issue. And we're going to be talking about COVID-19 and coronavirus as it pertains to people living with sickle cell. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And I'm glad you're able to maneuver somehow and still get across to your listeners, even though you can't get into the studio.
Yes.
We're all being very creative now, finding innovative ways of getting across to our various communities. Well done. Good job.
Exactly. Thank you so much. So I'll first, I know some people say they know what it is and all that, but I'll first start by saying that what is coronavirus and how do people get it? Because there's different variations on how you get it, how you don't get it. So can you just in simple form explain to us?
Okay, very simply, you've said it, coronavirus. But interesting thing is, it's not the first coronavirus one would ever come across, Coronavirus is a group of viruses. There are many, even the common cold is a type of coronavirus. It belongs to that group of viruses called coronavirus. And corona, as you know, comes from crown because it looks like a crown. The way when you see the virus under the electronic microscope, it gives you an impression of a crown. So it belongs to that category or that group of viruses called coronaviruses. But this is a new one. That's why it's called novel. You probably heard that as well. Novel coronavirus.
Yes.
That's one of the things you hear. But novel is French for new. Again, so because it's new, doctors and medical workers and scientists, we are still learning as we're going along. There are many things we still don't know about this virus. Okay, the virus is called coronavirus, new coronavirus, but it causes the disease known as COVID-19. COVID standing for corona virus disease. Co for corona, V for virus.
Okay.
Disease. COVID. That 19 means that it was discovered in 2019. So that's how it's that's nomenclature.
Okay.
Coronavirus disease first discovered in 2019. That's how it came about. COVID-19. We probably have also heard about SARS-2. I'm losing you. Hello. Technology again. Okay, in case you can hear me, the coronavirus, the new coronavirus, causes the disease known as COVID-19. Causes the disease known as COVID-19. Okay, and COVID-19 is basically a severe respiratory illness. But even though I've said it's severe, please note that it's a whole spectrum of clinical features, starting from asymptomatic, that is persons who carry the virus. I lost you for a moment there, right? Did we lose each other? Okay, but I've lost the sound. That's technology for you. Can you hear me? Okay, I can't hear a single thing. But maybe I'll just keep talking if you can hear me. Do this if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Okay, but I can't hear you. Okay, I was saying that coronavirus, the new coronavirus, causes the disease known as COVID-19, coronavirus disease discovered in 2019. And it causes a whole spectrum of symptoms and signs. There are some people that they say are asymptomatic, that is, they don't show any signs or symptoms. Okay, I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard me say that it causes a wide spectrum of symptoms and signs, starting from asymptomatic.
Yes.
Asymptomatic being not having any symptoms at all, even though the person is harboring the virus, doesn't show any signs or symptoms. Some have very mild illness or moderate illness. Some have severe illnesses. There's actually a proportion. 80%, about 80% we have asymptomatic or mild to moderate illness. So only about 20% of those who have the virus will have severe illness. Severe illness being the one that includes pneumonia, that's incapacitating, that causes shortness of breath. That pneumonia being that, pneumonia means those air sacs in your lungs now contain fluid instead of air. So it's a feeling, the patients feel like they're drowning. It's a very painful way, to have an illness. There's a feeling of drowning and panic. It's dreadful, quite frankly. These are the severe illnesses. So about 20% only of those who are exposed to this, who get the disease, get severe illness. And of the 20%, 18% will recover. So only about 2% will succumb. But I always emphasize that every death is a tragedy, mind you. But when we are talking relatively, we say, okay, perhaps compared with other viruses like Ebola virus, in which about 10% will die. In this case, just about 2% will die. So that is a very wide spectrum. So let's just note that it comes with a wide variety of spectrum of expression, from very mild to moderate to severe. Okay, and then what are the signs and symptoms? Some of the things that we don't hear about much, but which are also important to note, is that some patients come forward with not respiratory symptoms and signs, which is the common one. The common symptoms and signs are cough, dry cough, fever, your body will be hot. Okay, if your body is hot, well, again, remember that in a way non-specific, you can't really tell by saying somebody has a fever, so the person may have coronavirus disease. No, it's just that it's one of the symptoms of signs. Fever, and usually it's a high fever, cough, tightness of the chest, shortness of breath, inability to breathe. Like they do something small and they feel breathless. They just walk a short distance and they feel breathless, and it's unusual. They will know something is really wrong. Okay, but in addition to that, let's be mindful of some other nuances like loss of taste and loss of smell. They may not be sure of what's going on, but in the sense that, I can't taste what I'm eating, or I can't smell, and it's something that just creeps on the person, and the person doesn't know. Another thing is also nausea and vomiting sometimes, and loose stools. So these are all kind of non-specific and maybe confusing. Okay, but the important thing is, if you have any of these symptoms at this time, it's best to just call your healthcare worker, call a doctor to say, I'm feeling somehow. Even if it's malaria, let them test you, so you're sure that what you have is not COVID vomiting. So the symptoms and signs are varied, mostly respiratory, or you can have some gastrointestinal symptoms and signs. Okay, I think and that. So generally, that's it. It's a new virus, and we're still learning as we're going along. Treatment, of course, we know there's no vaccine. As we are talking now, there's no cure. A lot of work is going on, a lot of clinical trials around the world, and Nigeria is participating as well in a lot of clinical trials, including, as you know, chloroquine for treatment, which we've been using for malaria in the past here in Nigeria. It's not a strange medication to us, but once it's approved, I'm sure that it will come on stream. But I'm aware that a number of doctors are already prescribing it globally for those who are diagnosed, who are confirmed to have the illness. Of course, the chloroquine is a very potentially toxic drug, so it has to be taken under care, prescription, and under care. So that's it generally. So everybody is at risk. Nobody is immune because the new virus. Nobody is immune. Nobody is immune. It's just that some people are perhaps more at greater risk than the general population because they have what we call comorbidities, like us in the sickle cell community, like persons who have hypertension, diabetes, asthma. If you have any condition or cancer or autoimmune illness, any condition that's already there is pre-existing. So it kind of opens you up to be more at risk of getting the infection than the general population. And then even if we now unfortunately, in the unfortunate event that one gets the infection, those of us who are in this community, in this category, then we are at even greater risk of having severe illness, severe complications. For us in the sickle cell community, for instance, our greatest fear would be acute chest syndrome. Acute chest syndrome is already a complication.
Yes. How do you differentiate the two? Exactly. How do you differentiate the two?
No, you cannot. You can't say you are differentiating the two. Number one, the best thing is prevention. I'll come to the specific things we can do to protect her, to prevent getting it. But if one gets it at all, the only way to differentiate is actually being under professional medical care in a hospital facility, proper facility where they will do all the tests, do all the imaging, chest X-rays and all that. So they can tell by looking at chest X-ray what kind of lung problem somebody has. But you don't want to have in addition to having COVID-19 with his pneumonia. It's a double whammy. So that what I always preach there for is that it's best prevented. So apart from all the gamut of measures that everybody has been advised to take to prevent getting the virus, we who are supposed to have the so-called pre-existing conditions or comorbidities, we have an additional layer of measures. So we, more than anybody else, very careful about looking at hands thoroughly, and that thoroughly means 20 to 30 seconds at least. Just keep washing, and making it a habit as you come in and you go out, you do that. But even now that we're staying at home, it is wonderful for us. Those of us who are said to have pre-existing conditions, not only should we stay home for the number of weeks that government is saying for the general population, there is something they call shielding. This concept of shielding pertains to us who have comorbidities. So it's an extension, another layer of protection, besides what the general population is doing. So even when government says everybody stay home 2 weeks, 4 weeks, we with pre-existing conditions must stay home for 3 months, 12 weeks. That is the guideline. That is the guideline. And there's the science behind it. It's not just arbitrary. There's science behind it. It's called shielding. And that shielding is actually just as the word is exactly what it means. Shielding yourself, protecting yourself from any hazard coming towards you. And then there's a number of measures and that includes very strict measures that you have to adhere to within your isolation in your house. It's not easy, but it's doable, and you need a lot of support with the family members and friends to be able to achieve it. And I include, for instance, trying as much as possible to stay in one room if you can afford it. Not everybody has a home that's big enough to dedicate one room to somebody with sickle cell, for instance. But if it's possible, yes, that is the best thing to do. And then even if that's not possible, then you can put one bed, rather than share a bed, you take a bed to yourself in one room and wear a mask, and have everyone in the house with you wear masks. So these are many, many precautions under the shielding measure.
Unfortunately, those masks are very uncomfortable.
Wow, that is easy to say. Most when somebody was saying, Dr. Akinsete, they say don't touch your face. While we are talking, you've already touched your
Yes,
face.
you touch your face,
Exactly.
exactly.
We're so accustomed to doing that is not easy to unlearn. But we are unlearning little by little. And I'm telling you, Toyin, post COVID-19, the way we're going to live our lifestyle will change. There's no way.
Yes, it will definitely change.
Social culturally, there will be a shift. There will be a shift. So in the home as well, the person with sickle cell should really be treated differently. As much as we don't like to be treated differently, this is one of those times when we must be treated differently. Keep our cutlery separately, towels, don't share towels, and for that reason, everything like doorknobs, railings should be wiped down with bleach every so often throughout the day. If there's not
Bleach,
toilet or bathroom of your own, of course, I'm sure we all share toilet bathrooms, but we can do like a roster. That's a tip. A common suggestion: you can do a roster whereby the person with sickle cell gets to use the bathroom and toilet first before others, and then once others have used the bathroom and toilet, should be cleaned out again with the bleach. So the basic principle is clean, clean, clean. Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Keep your hand away from your face as much as possible. Do not get the virus. And then remember that the other things that we use commonly that can harbor the virus, like our phones, our mobile phones. Your mobile phones,
yes,
can carry.
Exactly, I wipe it with spirit and all that.
You need to wipe it out, exactly. Your wallet, your cash, so when you handle cash, you put it away and wash your hands thoroughly. Or if you don't have access to water and soap, you use your hand sanitizer. You must have hand sanitizer. If you don't have it, you can make your own at home with simple alcohol and some gel. So there are many to-dos. Thank God we have Google now. If you Google, you can see. Go to YouTube, you can see all kinds of methods of making all these things. But I think the important thing to note is that we must try to prevent getting the infection. And this shielding, which includes number one, staying at home for 3 months until all these things dies down, is paramount. I've spoken so much, Toyin.
Yes, but it's good. We're learning a lot. People on our Instagram page are also saying they are learning a lot. So which brings me to the fact that, okay, yes, you're telling us as people with pre-existing conditions, we have to stay at home and all that. But some of us have to make a living.
Correct.
Okay. Right now, it's even challenging with the COVID-19 issue. But some of us who are older, we have to make a living. We have to go to work. We have to, things like that. How do we manage this situation? Because it's very important. Once we start going out, once we start having to get our income to survive, because if we fall in, we'll still need money to even do all that as well. So how do we manage that?
Okay, absolutely correct. Fantastic question. You can't run away from it. The ideal situation is this, what I've told you, the shielding, which says stay at home for 3 months. That's the ideal situation. But I know we're not in an ideal situation, and indeed we have to go out. But if you have to go out, you have to have this presence of mind, that super consciousness. As you step out, you are keeping a distance from people around you. It is so important. You can't, if you know you cannot keep a distance, don't go out. Then seek support from family and friends. But if you must go out, keep that distance. Make sure that you have your hand sanitizer. Don't touch your face. So that presence of mind just has to be there. So all the time you're thinking, prevent COVID-19, prevent COVID-19, prevent COVID-19. It's a mantra, as it is in your consciousness. And then your goal will not be to linger outside. You do what you have to do and return to base, because your base is your home, and that is your haven, which must be clean and speak and sound. Like I said, cleaning everywhere, like door handles and so on, with bleach and all that. Your home is like your sanctuary. When you go out quickly and come back. When that is, if you absolutely have to. If you have support of family and friends, please, by all means, let them help you at this time. Let them help you at this time. If you have to go out, like you said, to seek your daily bread, nobody can fault you on that. But like I said, you have to have that presence of mind, that consciousness. We cannot run away from it. You just have to have that mantra in your head, repeating. It's almost as if you're a mad person, but you're not a mad person. It's just to help you remember that you don't touch this, you don't touch that. If I touch it, you wipe my hands, and keep that distance. That's social distancing. There's a science behind it. It's not just by because they've calculated how much the droplets will go, how much if somebody coughs or sneezes, the droplets will travel. So there's a science behind it. Keep that distance as much as possible from people, and do your business quickly and return home. That's the best I can see at it. Our environment, our circumstances here are not really like they are abroad. Abroad, there's a lot of safety nets that can help person in our category, for instance, who will say that we have pre-existing conditions. They will have safety nets like and social amenities that they use to support us for this period, maybe for the next 12 months or 18 months. But we don't have that. We have to look after ourselves. And then that's where, again, the NGOs like SAMI, Sickle Cell Foundation Nigeria, also come in handy. This is the time we have to reach out and help those in the sickle cell community so that they don't have to come out. And that help includes the little things they need for their daily living. Even it won't be luxury, but their medication, their food, that's something to tie them through this period of time until it's still okay. 3 months are up, you can go out. Okay, so it's not easy, but it's doable. It's doable.
Okay, all right. So speaking how would you? During this lockdown, one of the things I always say is I pray that none of our warriors get sick, because accessibility to see doctors is kind of challenging. So what would you suggest as how will I call it, halfway measure? When they fall ill, what do they do?
Okay, if the thing is prevent falling ill again as much as possible. Keep yourself hydrated. The do's and don'ts. We know all the things we should be doing, right? Keep hydrated. Don't stay in extreme heat. Don't stay in extreme cold. I know it's hot nowadays, but don't leave the air conditioner so much that you are in a too chilled a room. We know our bodies and how we react and respond. And eat well, nourishing, nutritious food, and all that will boost our immunity so that we don't even fall ill at all. But true, that may happen. Somebody may end up with a crisis, and that means absolutely necessary that you have to go to seek medical help. So you call your doctor, a healthcare provider. I'm sure we all have people that we can call. Call them, and then you go, because they'll now expect you, and you now go quickly, briskly to the hospital and see the doctor and return. Hopefully, they won't keep you in the hospital, because they're trying not to keep people in hospitals anymore. The teaching now is treat, and so patients should stay in hospital. But if you have to stay because you are ill, then you have to stay. That would be the question of the times you are in, of the moment. But as much as possible, they try not to admit you. They give you your painkillers or whatever you require and ask you to go home. But my prayer is that none of us will fall ill at this time. That issue that's tricky at this time also is because we are so holed in, and some of us may even live alone. There's the issue of that psychological. Some the young lady told me that, doctor, I'm depressed. I said, what is depression? Define depression. What are you feeling? What are you feeling when you say you are depressed? You said I'm living alone. I'm not talking to, which is true. Those are facts of living alone, particularly reality. But I said to her that you are very lucky. You have this technology, this thing called phone in your hand. You can reach the whole world. And she now said that she didn't have data and all that things So I sent her some credit so she could get data. So the thing that is important to be connected to a network of people outside of your, especially if you live alone. But even if you live with people, remember with this shielding, they're saying you should stay away from people as well, even in the house that has that you have sisters and brothers. You're still keeping away, so it's still not easy. There's no doubt there'll be some psychological, backlash. But this is the time, therefore, that you now say to yourself, okay, you have a purpose for every day. Even those who are not ill, who don't have pre-existing conditions or anything, are all complaining of boredom or this. Don't be bored. You can learn many things at this time. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying this is the time that God has given us to learn new skills. Just go and then read. Exactly. Something like reading, so then start learning to read. That becomes something that you need to. So you don't look back and say, during that lockdown, I learned something new. So and then try and structure your day in such a way that there's a purpose. You just and another useful tip is keep your routine. If you're someone normally wakes up at 5, continue waking up at 5. Wake up at 5. Do and structure. They have things planned out to be done, and do that. And like me, for instance, I haven't had the chance to clean my wardrobe for a long time. I've done all that, So you take your time to do things that have been on your agenda for a long time. But keep your routine. Find time to learn new things, and then use your phone, connect with others. Go to Google. There are many things that may interest you that you didn't even realize, and you start being creative. There's a lady not down the road from me who's learning to knit. This, I think, I don't like things like that. I've never been inclined to sewing and knitting. She just said to me, and I tried. I said, something. Who knows? You may just enjoy it. She too said she wasn't that inclined. She's knitting so much. She said she gave me some of the things. She did a small teddy bear match with a matching mats. And said, you did this? Yes. So people are learning skills. And then some are learning to cook, different recipes that they do, so there's a lot that one can do and learn. So I think we should look inwards rather than feeling that, throwing your hands in the air and feeling like it's a hopeless case. I'm depressed. What's making you depressed? Exactly. Think of all the good things that you have. Think of your blessings. And as Christians, most of us in Nigeria, we are very religious. We count our blessings. And God has blessed us. Look at all these blessings. Map out your day, structure your day, have a routine, and then have plans to learn new things. And then reach out to other people, because other people need your help. So try and help others.
Yes, exactly. That's what I tell people.
You to give, So there's no room for depression. Yeah. No room for that.
All right. For those of us out there in social media world, we should have questions, post your questions in the chat, and we will ask Dr. Akinsete the questions. Okay, let me go to this. For somebody who is living with sickle cell, and the person suspects, okay, I might have, but is not sure. What are the steps that the person should do?
The person might have COVID-19?
Yes, have COVID-19, yes.
Okay, you call that number. It's the let me see if I can find it.
Okay, the helpline.
The NCDC number is 0800 97 0000. 0800 97 0000. Up to 10. I think there were 10 lines. So if you call them, I've tried that.
97
0000.
000.
I've tried it, and I got through a few times, in fact, just to see what they would say, So, and that's the first point. And then they'll advise you what steps to take. The thing is, they will test you. They probably come to your house, they'll get your address, and they'll take your blood sample. They'll take your sample and have a test done before anything like treatment. Okay.
Okay. All right. Has there been any? Do you know of any sickle cell warrior that has been said to have COVID-19 in this country?
Not in Nigeria, but in the UK, yes. In the UK, yes.
Okay.
I
Okay.
haven't heard of any Nigerian. In America, I don't know. But definitely in the United Kingdom, in Britain.
Okay, so we're going back to the issue of building an immunity. I just want you to just give definite discourse on how we can build an immunity, because people have different perceptions of how you build an immunity. So maybe you can
Okay.
just give us a few pointers to that.
Okay, very good. Now this is even for everybody, not just those who have sickle cell, but definitely for us who have sickle cell and others with pre-existing conditions. We want to boost. We all have an immune system. The immune system is there to respond to any assault, any foreign body, any disease that comes into our body. Our immune system fights it. And what is this immune system? It's usually our white blood cells. That's what we call cellular immunity. Something that we call humoral immunity, something that's not in the cells, but in the other parts of the body. Okay, usually from our enzymes and hormones and all that. But altogether, it's the system of immunity in the body. So, but what boosts it? And it's not it's usually from what we eat, what we put in our mouth. So it's not only what you put, it's also what you do not put. Things like sodas, soft drinks. Yes, they detract from your immune system. So it's not just what you should, it's also what you should not be taking. Alcohol, sodas, smoking.
Some people's joy are going to be broken. No alcohol.
No. That is true. What they do, they just help to bring your immunity that notch lower.
Yeah.
So they're no-nos. But rather than that, we should up fresh fruits. Okay, people say they're expensive, but we have to look for them. Oranges, fruits in season, and that's the way God has made us. Sometimes you wonder, like a newborn baby, when a newborn baby is born, the first milk that comes from mother's breast is this colorless liquid called colostrum. Do you know that? Then after some days, it changes to white.
No, I don't.
Okay, the first few days is colorless.
Okay.
And that's what the baby needs at that time. And what colostrum is full of antibodies, all the diseases the mother has had.
Okay.
Antibodies against all these diseases the mother has had. The mother now passes the antibodies to the baby. So the baby takes it. It's like as if that is what the season for the baby. After that, whitish milk comes, then yellowish milk. Depending on if the baby is thirsty, do you know the milk that comes has more water? If the baby is hungry, the milk that comes has more calories. Okay. In the same vein, we in the terrestrial environment that we're in, God gives us fruits and season. And the fruits that come out of that season are what our body needs at that point in time. I'm not saying we should not eat all these apples and things but I'm a firm believer in our local fruits. When it's time for agbalumo, look for it and take it. That's what we call cherry. What we call agbalumo cherry. Look for it and take them. Orange, look for them and take them. Okay. Pineapples, look for them and take them. Purple, look for them and take them. So look for fruit in season. That's what boosts your immunity at that time. That's what your body needs at that time in your place where God has placed you in this terrestrial environment. Fruit in season is our greatest arsenal against infections and boost our immunities, and also fresh vegetables, different colors. Nutritionists and dietitians will tell you put many colors in your plates. Green vegetables, reddish ones.
Yes.
So you look for something as
rainbow plates.
Yellow, the peppers that are yellow, red pepper, green, ugu, anything that's just make sure they're different colors. The more the colors, the better for you. So that's the general rule. Look for many colors of vegetables and look for fruit in season. Take them every day. That's as far as that's concerned. But you can also add to that supplements like vitamin C. Everyone is taking that now, and I think it's very wise. Vitamin C is not stored in your body, so you need to replenish it every day. You have to take it every day. 1,000 milligrams daily so is enough. I've seen very strange things online sometimes saying that you should take up to 20 grams. That's crazy. I think 1 gram a day should suffice. But vitamin C, you can also get a lot from your fruits. But remember that citrus fruits give you a lot of that. Your lemons and limes, and so even if you don't take lemon as a fruit, squeeze it into water and drink it. They said that we need to take a lot of fluids to hydrate us. Just squeeze lemon in your water, but slice lemon in your water. Just drink it throughout the day. Of course, you take oranges, things like that. So, and then zinc, zinc as another supplement that helps for the respiratory. Yes, for respiratory health. Because of the lining of our respiratory system, we need zinc for replenishment. Okay, so if you go to the pharmacy and ask for vitamin C and zinc, those are adequate supplements for us to have at this time to help us to boost our immunity, in addition to eating well and forgetting about alcohol and sodas, soft drinks, and smoking. Any of those things are no-nos because they detract from our health. Okay.
Okay.
So those are the tips I have.
So yeah, and any questions out there, please post so that I can ask Dr. Akinsete.
Yeah.
But I want to ask, we've been hearing, okay, when if I hear that, okay, people have COVID and there's something about waiting 14 days. Is that after 14 days when they have the COVID and they are not serious, it goes away, or they just telling them to just wait 14 days for help or to check if it gets worse?
Everything is for a reason. That's the incubation period, the time from the time of exposure, the time you've met somebody who has this infection and the person has passed it to you. From that moment up to 14 days, you may not show any sign on the first day. It takes 2 to 14 days. The first day, you're not likely to show any sign, but some people begin to show signs on the second day, the third day. The average is 5 to 6 days after exposure. Coughing starts, fever is high, and so that's 5-6 days average. But usually, some people may even not show anything until the 14th day. So far, they found that I've even seen, I read in literature that somebody showed symptoms 18 days after exposure. So 14 days is actually what they thought initially, but we're still learning. And we're seeing now that some people even show symptoms after up to 18 days. So when they say stay at, like if you have been exposed or you've been you traveled to all these countries where they're coming from, you stay in isolation for 14 days, and that gives us enough room to see that you've gone through the incubation period, you did not show any signs or symptoms, so you don't have the virus. So it's a question of incubation period. That's the science behind the 14 days.
Is there any time limit from once you get sick from the COVID-19 virus to the time you get well? Yeah, and is it everybody who gets sick that goes to the hospital?
No. The vast majority of people who are ill are at home in their houses, and they've taken measures to take care of the fever, because the fever is very disorientating. And I'm talking to a patient right now who has it. A person, she lives in America. She feels very uncomfortable. I asked her, are you in pain? She says, I'm not in pain, but I'm very uncomfortable. She's restless. Saying, hey, that kind of, so that's all those symptoms come from the fever. And then she's had it now for 6 days. I know somebody who's had it for 2 weeks and it still has the symptoms. Some people are on admission. When they get so bad, they put them on ventilators. They're still there for 1 month. So someone can get well in 3 days. Some people are still in hospital for 3 months. So it's a very wide spectrum. Very, very wide spectrum. But let's just remember that 80% of those who have it will have mild disease, and they can stay at home and get better by just taking measures that take care of the symptoms and signs. Within 3, 4, 5 days, a week, they're better.
Okay, Abayomi on Facebook is asking if you could explain the zinc aspect again, that to help boost immunity.
Yeah, zinc is
I think a lot of people are not.
Zinc is a mineral, and you can get it in the pharmacy. Just ask for zinc, and they'll give you. It's a tablet. You take it according to why it is written on what's written on the jar. What it helps us. The lining when we breathe in from the respiratory system starts from here, from your nose right down to your pharynx, the back of your throat, into your trachea, into your bronchi that breaks like a tree, then into your lungs. The bronchi open up into the air sacs in your lungs, and all of that is there's a lining of cells. All the cells, the integrity of those cells is maintained by this supplement called zinc. The cells that keep replacing and replenishing. Okay, so that just know that it takes zinc and then vitamin C, and that's parts of your regimen for boosting your immunity. Okay.
Okay, so he's also asking, does this virus attack people's immune system like any other virus, or is it? Well, I'm sure it attacks, or maybe is it worse when it attacks? That's the question I will add to his own.
Okay, whether it was, it's not that it's worse. It's different. It's different, and like I'm telling you, because it's new, we're still learning about this virus. It's the way it's attacking. It's different. When say the flu virus will cause a pneumonia, but it's a different kind of pneumonia. What's pneumonia? Pneumonia is the air sacs. Instead of air being there, there's fluid. In this case, it's turning to fiber, turning to like sponge, changing the texture of the lung tissue from a normal soft texture and making it like a fiber, fibrosis. It's and that's strange. It's a different way of the pathology is different. Okay, so it's a different disease from the flu virus, for instance. Does that answer the question?
Thank you. Any more questions? Yomi, I hope that answers the question.
I hope so too.
Okay, let me check if there's any. All right. I don't think there's any question. We just have about 3 minutes left. If nobody has a question, so I'll just give words of encouragement to people with sickle cell, and in your own estimates, somebody who is in the forefront of this thing. How long do you think we'll be able to overcome this before we'll be able to last? Before we
nobody knows. That's the strangest thing about one of the things we're doing is reviewing. There's a lot of literature going on. What's going on in the world now is like a life global experiment. We're learning, and as we're speaking, all these researchers are coming out with papers every day. So a lot of what we're doing is reviewing them and seeing what findings to apply real time to how we're responding. So you see, we're learning as we're going along. Every day there's a research paper coming out in one aspect or the other. So nobody can really tell, we can't really tell how long it's going to be. Like I was just saying that on the 31st of December 2019, if someone had told us that 2020 would play out like this, we would not believe it. It just came, from out of the blue. And here we are dealing with something we've never encountered in the past. And just making it up as we're going along. So I'll just say we take one day at a time. We take one day at a time and be hopeful as we are. Human beings if you don't have hope, what do you have? You have to just have hope that this too shall pass.
Yes.
So I think that's
indeed.
That's the place to leave it. This too shall pass.
Shall pass.
Yes,
that's my motto. Yes,
I like that.
All right. So that's all we can do for. All right. So any final words before we round up?
Okay, I'll just say everybody there, we in the sickle cell community, we're not alone, and never think that you're alone. Remember that you can reach out. Like I said before, we have technology. Wherever you are, reach out to everybody who's near you. I know we're locked down, but it doesn't mean that we're alone. Reach out to the various, to SAMI, Sickle Cell Foundation Nigeria, friends, family, church, mosque, and the people that are out there to support us in everything we're doing. Don't feel that you're alone. Don't be shy to ask for help if you need help. And as much as possible, remember, prevent this infection is best. Prevention is better, cheaper, and safer than cure. We don't want to have it. I believe that all of us will come out of this not having COVID-19. By God's grace.
Amen. Thank you so much. It's been an interesting experience chatting with you.
Thank you.
We'll have you some other time.
Thank you for the work you're doing.
Thank you.
Very good work. Creativity is important.
Yes, it definitely is. We just have to find a way out of this situation. Thank you once again, and have a lovely, lovely week.
Thank you. You too.
All right, guys, that has been Dr. Annette Akinsete, the CEO of Sickle Cell Foundation, sharing with us about COVID-19 and how we can manage ourselves during the season. This has been the Total Self Show, the online version, and it's supported by the Public Affairs section of the United States Consulate, and it's a Sickle Cell Advocacy and Management Initiative. And I leave you with these words: stay safe, stay well, and look after yourself. Thank you.